Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PvPness. That's PvPness. Get your mind out of gutter. I am Sun Stomper, your PvP officer for Hearts of Fire. Welcome to your PvP tip of the week. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that's useful for both PvEers and PvPers, and that's macros. Macros are very useful. It allows you to chain together abilities, access console commands, and do things that you would normally have to go through a long process of doing. So they make your life easier. First up, we have cast macros. These are simple macros that cast to your target. The first part of it is hashtag show tooltip spell name. That allows me, whenever I have it moused over, to see the tooltip. I find it very useful. The second part, slash target enemy. Slash target enemy on its own will cycle through enemies within your purview. As you can see, I have a macro for my Hammer of the Righteousness. As you can see on my Hammer of the Righteousness, also known as Hammer Time, I do not have anything after target enemy. So if I keep clicking, it'll cycle through the enemies. If I select Crusader Strike, it stays on one target, and that's because I have target enemy, no harm, dead. No harm will also make sure that you don't cycle through enemies. Dead, however, will make sure you switch to your next target upon the target's death. So these cast macros are very simple to do. Again, I like to do the show tooltip, target enemy, no harm, dead, and then slash cast spell name. There is another kind of macro, and that is your burst macro. Hashtag show tooltip, show whichever spell you want, but then link up spells that may be off your global cooldown and increase your effects. Here I have my Avenging Wrath and Holy Avenger, as well as using a Draining Strength Potion all in the same go. This allows me to put out massive numbers of DPS and really get down my PvP targets with ease. The next kind of macro we're going to deal with is the console command macro. Now this one in particular allows you to break your maximum distance lock. As you can see, it's just slash console camera distance max factor and 5. 5 is the maximum value you could have in there. When clicked, instead of this being your maximum lockout, we could zoom all the way out. This is useful if you need a battle perspective that you just can't normally get. Useful in PvP because it gives you a more real-time strategy look, and useful in PvE, especially when you're trying to avoid ground effects. It allows you to see clearly what path you need to take and help you avoid avoidable damage. The last kind of macro I'm going to be talking about today is one to switch your talents. As you can see, very simply, slash use talents. If I select my switch talent macro, it will automatically activate my secondary spec. If I select it a second time, it'll switch me back to my primary. This is incredibly useful in PvE if you need to quickly change your specs without having to go through your talents and specializations. What you can do with macros is near endless, and I would recommend for all of you to experiment and try out many on your own. If you're not using macros, you most certainly should be, as you will see a major increase in your performance just from its use alone. Macros are there to make your life easier and to improve your gameplay, so why not use them? Anyway, this is Sun Stomper. I hope that you found this PvP tip of the week useful. Like and subscribe if you want, and stay tuned for more.